Of course, I know as well as the next inter-party how very serious the alliance between Peter Gabriel and Ronald Reagan is. When Patti Smith showed up after Pierre Morgan on my iPhone routines, I figured probably the best thing to do is just let them play their storyline. Because I know what happens when you don't. I mean, I'm only 64. Parkinson's doesn't run in my family. They did this to me. But there's another side to the situation than the one they're presenting. I'd like to talk a little bit about that because it's sort of like a detective novel. I'm not very good at detective novels, but it operates like one. Go into three avenues that coalesce possibly better than I can explain. One of them is how the Texas school book found its way into my house. What the meaning of the fact that Alec Hadell, or Lee Harvey Oswald's middle name is James, in one of his IDs. Because I'm sure it's not lost on the Trump people. That's sort of the patent pending idea. That once you can pin the tail on James, the other name references in the situation that's presented are all exonerated. Even though I knew nothing about it and they did. The second would be, why, if Hillary Clinton isn't a referent of Clint Hill, and Clint Hill isn't a reference of Clint Eastwood, and Charles Bronson isn't a reference of Charles Bronson, why did Clint Eastwood target me instead of arresting Gail Burstyn? But one of the largest questions of all, they say it was because they didn't want me to get away. She's too easy or something. I don't know what they say. It's a ridiculous arrangement. Is the degree to which her was guerrilla theater. When you look at the tune in, turn on, drop out movement, it was clearly sly army politics, because if you did drop out, you were liable for the drafts. If you stayed in college, you weren't. So Lenin was helping the army. He was MK Ultra all the way. And we know from the Carousel Club that the harem movement was stylized to create a vulnerable tribe with the help of Japanese pornographic warriors. And the script, of course, is about the cult of the Virgin. Penny Crary, a psychologist from Pitt, who connubied with Peter Gabriel and his secretary, Amanda Harcourt, for Gail Burstyn and Yoko Ono, named Amanda Harcourt. She's also the attorney for her. Took me to her when I was just a child. And there were guerrilla theater puns. The man who played, not Claude, but I guess his name was Berger, were stripped down to fringe shorts on the stage and shouted, "I bet you didn't expect to see something like this so early in the show." Well, he was from Pittsburgh. He arranged, it looks to me like there's reason to suspect that he arranged Dee Dee's role. This place was a Nixon Theater, and you came out and you look at the Ash Wednesday Church up the alleyway. And then when we escaped to a new neighborhood, the pedos, C. Watts, Chuck W. had me sitting on the steps with those little package there. I just sat there. I was really bored, so I peeked into the package. I mean, I, I left it there for whoever it was, but it was a fringed purse like his shorts. When they had me in genuine fright and trauma, they were beating my brains in, kidnapping me, kicking me in the head, leaving me battered, slaughtering blows, threatening to kill me, kidnapping, gassing me, putting me on profound hallucinogens. I was about 12 years old. I had an old Newsboys campaign cup that had a hole in it. Remember John Lennon's line, "I have a hole in my pocket"? Well, Gellermini must have been in on this because Colucci said he left out a 20. He was jive. He just wanted to catch me stealing it. Ernest Hemingway has a line in The Old Man and the Sea. He picked everything up from his boat, not because he distrusted his neighbors, because he didn't want to leave a temptation around. And they would have put a hole in my head if I didn't let Dee Dee have her way with me. So there's guerrilla theater and all of that. And when you look at Oswald's back and forth with Russia, the KGB, Putin, Andropov, Trump, Bush triangle, it's very reminiscent of a place called Brest-Litovsk, which is where the Molotov-Ribbentrop armies met in non-aggression. So the Ukraine non-aggression outliers continue to lurk and are now making their play again.